school bus. First up, I have these kind of small bins that will fit in the bus without going under the bed. So these are going to be my mainly used everything. So I have some wood burning slabs, I have scissors, sticky notes. This is kind of like office supply things. I have a sewing kit. And then over here, I have all of my much needed wood burning tips. I have extra wood burning pens. I have some mailing stamps. In this jar, I have pretty much everything that you could need. So I have pens, Sharpies, pencils, erasers, a little bit of everything in here. And then I also have just an extra jar. This is more of a drawing jar than anything, and this is gonna be going under new upper head shelving. I also am bringing, I have a watercolor sketchbook that I'm going to have out. I have a coloring pencil. I have a colored pencil sketchbook that's always gonna be out, and then I have just a regular blank sketchbook, just kind of multimedia, that's also going to be out. And then I'm always going to keep chalk markers on hand because I like to add these to the windows. I like sometimes we're in certain areas and we want to put our phone numbers just in case there's an issue. Or sometimes we want to have our social media. I actually am planning on doing something really cool with the bus with these. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be pretty sneaking awesome. Then I have a ton of Prismacolor pencils and these little felt tip markers. I also have my Coldwood wood burner, which is what I use for literally everything. And then with that, there's some tracing paper and then some wood ceiling finisher as well. So I actually made this portfolio when I was trying to get a tattoo apprenticeship. I did get a tattoo apprenticeship and that all went downhill pretty quick. But so that's a story for a different day. This is pretty much kind of all of my past work, and lately I've been trying to find exactly the style, what I want to do, and I think I'm pretty close to it. I love wood burning, but I do miss colored pencils and all that stuff lately, so still trying to figure it out. Moving on from my portfolio, I also have a big multimedia sketchbook. That way if I do want to do a big painting, I can do it with this type of paper. It's a thicker, more durable paper. So that fits in the bin like so. Then as you pull that out, I have some of my art prints that would be for sale and show. So I have this one, my classic clock, all of that good stuff. Under this, I have some more of my old work. This is one of my favorite little Christmas ones. And then I have this easel. I also carry, these are a ton of blank cutting boards, and I used to do workshops, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna wanna start again, so I'm just gonna carry some of these on hand. And then I have some tote bags. This is another work of mine. And then over here, I have this rack that I would store all of the stuff in. Then I also have this table cover. I have another table cover under here. I make this wood butter, which is kind of like a wood conditioner that's edible. Well, you wouldn't want to eat it, but it wouldn't hurt you to put it on wood cutting boards. So I sell that at shows. This is looking pretty bare. I used to have a lot more stuff, but I slowed down as we were doing the bus, so this is kind of just a starter point for me again. But this is gonna be the fun bin over here. Over here, I start out with this oil palette that I have. It's pretty messy, but kind of like it that way. You just kind of keep adding paint to it. So I do plan on practicing with some oil paint somewhere, so that is there. I also have another watercolor sketchbook that I'm adding. I think watercolor is just a fun, easy, well, it's not easy, but fun, easy cleanup type of artwork. And then I have this black sketchbook, and sometimes I like to take a white charcoal pencil and do some fun little sketches with this. I think that the contrast makes it look really awesome. Then of course I have this wood, and I'm going to be bringing this because usually around December time I do a ton of pet portraits, so I have it and I'm just going to keep it on hand. I want to do a cute little long landscape on that one. And then under this, I have some of these extra papers. Sometimes I add these to orders that I do. I write handwritten letters on them. And then I have these shipping packages to ship the commission pieces. And then this bin is the ultimate. And then this bin is the ultimate supply bin. So I put it in one big thing. That way, if I want to have it out for somewhere for a week, I can just pull up this whole thing and experiment with a ton of new art supplies. So this is my big art supply bin, and I wanted to put it all in one thing. That way if we're parked for a while and I want to experiment with a ton of stuff, I can just grab it out really easily and put the rest of the things back. And what I mean by experimenting is a big part of traveling. We are changing our mind. I'm wanting to do different things, practice with different things, and I did start selling a ton of my art as paintings and drawings, and I was kind of all over the place. And then I really focused on wood burning, which I think is my thing, and I think that's what I'm going to continue to do. But a big part of living in a bus is experimentation. So I still want to bring all of this. We live in a bus, so we have more space. It's not like we're in a van. And these are all of my favorite supplies, and I will show you those now. All right. First up, we have my Prismacolor pastels. And this is a whole kit. I really haven't used it too much, which is perfect. They're all, I actually haven't used this once, but that means that it's fresh, it's already ready. Now, Prismacolor anything, I'm pretty obsessed with. It usually goes on like butter, and the pigment is super strong. I haven't really messed around with pastels yet, so I hope their pastels live up to what their colored pencils do. But under this, I have an oil color painting set, and my grandma gave this to me, and this was my great-grandma's, I believe, and it looks like she maybe used a few colors out of it, but I would love to do some like mini paintings as we're parked somewhere of the scenery that we're in, or even some portraits, and I would love to use this kit that came from my great-grandma. She was a really, really good, amazing artist. She did mostly scenery. My family always says that's where I got my art skill from. So then next up in here, it gets a little messy, but I understand the organization of it. So on our left, we have a big cup of my pastel pencils, and then on this side, I have a ton of blending stones, charcoal pencils, just random charcoal pieces, but charcoal's always messy. I have some extra kneaded erasers in here. I never ever draw without a kneaded eraser. I honestly use a kneaded eraser while I draw more than I do anything else. And then on this side, I have the rest of my Prismacolor pencils. And as you can see, I have a lot. And then over on this side, I have another little kit. These are just oil pastels. I'm not super into them, but I do want to bring them because sometimes they're fun to add on top of things or as the base of something. See, right, I added all the rest of my oil paints that I had. I took an oil painting class once, and I they're so expensive. I need to use it up. I need to practice with it more. So you can see I've used these ones a lot. Some of these over here are brand new. And then I have this big titanium white. You use a lot of white. And then this is actually like a liquid watercolor. So you would add just a little dab of this and then add water to it and mix it, and that would make some watercolors. And this stuff should last like forever. So I'm going to be taking this. And then this is just some Gansol, and it's basically like an odorless solvent for oil colors. So what that does is it makes it thinner, so it's easier to move the oil and blend it with other colors, rather than sometimes these are super thick and more kind of like, they're just not blendable, right? So you would add a solvent to make it blendable and more like a thinner paint. So I guess it's like paint thinner, but it's oil. Now coming back to this back bin over here, I'm keeping it kind of empty because we are planning on adding some merch, stickers, and then obviously my art stuff. I might be adding things for sale, and we would need storage space for that. And I really don't need too much more other than what I already have packed. So I put some of the extra wood that I have. My mom got me this really, really cool driftwood from the redwood forest I want to do some designs on. I have an apron, and then I have some gloves for when I do paintings, painting murals, any oil paints. It isn't good to get on your hands, so I have gloves for that. That is everything going into my art bin. I'm sure I'll be collecting more and getting rid of some of it as we're on the road, but really this is just all of my favorite supplies for when I want to do something different, and thankfully we have the space while we live in the bus. If we were in the van, I would probably really set myself down to just wood burning stuff, charcoal, pencils, and then probably pastel and colored pencils. I would not be adding the paint because I paint pretty rarely. I did not show you my entire portfolio on this video because as I was looking at it, I kind of want to sit down and explain when I did it, why I did it, and just all of my past artwork and kind of where I'm going. Please keep watching, like, subscribe. If you want to see more of my past work and current work, make sure to hit the bell and it will notify you as soon as I post a new video. I will be coming out with more artwork videos soon, but we are packing up our house in Las Vegas right now to leave, so I'm a bit limited on time creating artwork in that aspect. I have some things lined up that will be very, very cool.